One of the most common questions I get is what is the difference between style references, mood boards, and personalization? All three affect the aesthetics of your Midjourney images, but they work in completely different ways. So let's figure out which one you need. I recently answered this question in a Q&A for my Patreon community, but it felt worth expanding on here. First, I want you to think about what you're trying to achieve. Do you want to match and replicate a very specific style? If so, you'll want to learn about style references. Or do you want to develop a style with more variety and flexibility but still gives a cohesive look? Mood boards are great for this. Or maybe you want ultimate flexibility but still want the results to have an overall vibe to them based on your aesthetic preferences. That's personalization. Let's cover the basics of these three to better understand how and when to use them. We'll start with style references. Style reference is a feature that you can use in your prompts to apply a specific visual aesthetic to your image results. You provide the reference, and Midjourney will take elements like color palette, medium, texture, and overall style and apply them to your results. There are two types of style references that you can use: images and SREF codes. To provide an image as a style reference, you can click and drag your image into the style reference box. Or if you have an image URL, you can paste it after the style reference parameter --SREF, or pick from images you've already uploaded by clicking the Add Images button first, and then drag one of your uploads into the box. I'll just submit a simple prompt for this example, and here are my results. So the style of my new images is similar to the style in my reference image. If you want your style reference to have more or less influence, you can adjust the style weight. The default value for style weight is 100. To change it, add --SW to your prompt, followed by a number from 0 to 1000. Use lower values for subtle influence. You can try something between 15 and 50. Higher values give you stronger adherence to that style reference. The second type of style references are called SREF codes. These are numbers that are linked to specific styles. But how do you know what style is linked to what number? There are a couple of ways to go about this, and the easiest one that I recommend is browsing Midjourney Style Explorer. On the Explore page, click Styles. Then you can browse random and top styles, or use the search bar to search for specific styles. Each style will have a number like this. This is the SREF code for that style. Add that to your prompt to try it out. The codes in the Style Explorer and the styles linked to them are pre-generated by Midjourney. As of today, these codes work with the V7 model. They do not work with the older V6 models. As new models come out, the codes that you see in the Style Explorer and the styles linked to them may change. So one SREF code that you use in V7 will always work with V7, but it may not produce the same style in future models. I have a more in-depth video on understanding Midjourney's different style reference systems that I'll link below. Also, make sure that you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you get all of my monthly Midjourney update videos where I share the latest changes and new features. You can also create your own SREF codes by using the Style Creator. This is a relatively new feature. Essentially, you select images that represent different aspects of the style that you want to create, and Midjourney refines your style after multiple rounds of selection. As your style is refined, Midjourney will give you a code number that you can use to repeat that style in future prompts. I'll link a tutorial for the Style Creator down below. And just like when you use images as style references, the strength of SREF codes on your results can be controlled with the style weight parameter. You can also blend multiple style references together. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But that's a brief overview of how to use the different types of style references. So when should you use them? Style references create a distinct, consistent style across your results. They are strict in adhering to that style, especially when you increase the style weight. You'll want to use a style reference when you need more exact style matching or are trying to replicate a specific style. So if you're creating a comic series, for example, a style reference might be the right approach for you to get that strict consistency. Or maybe you want a specific cinematic film look to your images. Using a style reference is a great way to do that. There's a lot more that you can do with style references that I won't be covering in this video, but I do have a bunch of videos and reference material on both style references and SREF codes specifically, including a curated collection of more than 500 of my favorites. I'll leave some links down in the pinned comment below. Next, we have mood boards. A mood board is a collection of images that Midjourney uses as inspiration for your results. Unlike style references, which apply one unified style to your results, Moodboards let Midjourney draw from the variety within your collection of images. So Moodboards give Midjourney more breathing room, and your results will capture the variety in your Moodboard while maintaining a cohesive theme rather than strict style replication. Here's a Moodboard that I created with 6 images. 4 of them have a similar style to each other, and then these 2 have a similar but different and darker style. When I run my cat prompt, these are my results. Some of the images are lighter or darker, but they all follow the theme of the Moodboard. If I were to use all 6 of these images as style references, they would all get blended together into this unified style. So in other words, Moodboards give you a consistent theme, but with variety. Style references give you strict unified styling. To create your own Moodboard, go to the Moodboard page and click New Moodboard. First, give it a name, then add your images. I recommend adding at least 3 to 12 images. You can upload, paste in image URLs, or select images from your Midjourney gallery. To use your new Moodboard in a prompt, click Use in Prompt and then add your prompt text. This is the profile parameter, which you'll see is also used for personalization profiles. And this is a special code that tells Midjourney to grab the current state of your Moodboard. Once you run the job, that long code gets converted to a shorter alphanumeric code, which you can use in future prompts. And if you ever go back to edit your Moodboard by adding or removing images, just make sure that you click the Use in Prompt button again to get an updated code that reflects those changes. Back over on the Create page, if you want to use a specific Moodboard in every prompt, click the Profile button here so that it turns red. Then select the Moodboard that you want to use. When this button is red, whatever you have selected here will be applied to all of your future prompts. When you don't want it anymore, just click it again to turn it off. To adjust the strength of a Moodboard, you can use the Stylize parameter --stylize or --s. Here's an example where I used this Moodboard and ran the same prompt with different stylized values. Normally, this parameter controls the strength of Midjourney's default aesthetics, but when you include a Moodboard or personalization in your prompt, it controls the strength of that instead. So you should use a Moodboard when you want a cohesive theme with variety. The diversity in your results reflects the diversity in your Moodboard, and you control it based on the images that you include. Moodboards work really well for world-building projects where you want everything to feel like it belongs together, but the scenes can still be visually distinct. You can explore diverse character designs, for example, that are not identical in style, but they all feel like they're part of the same universe. I'll leave some additional resources on Moodboards down in the pinned comment. Next, we have personalization, which works in a completely different way compared to style references and Moodboards. Instead of being based on reference images, personalization is based on choices you make by ranking pairs of images. Midjourney learns your preferences, things like color, medium, whether you prefer minimalism, and even how you like your characters to look. Then when you include a personalization profile in your prompt, it overrides Midjourney's default aesthetic with your own aesthetic. It's sort of like creating your own custom Midjourney model where every prompt you submit is like asking Midjourney, what would this look like in my world? To set up a personalization profile, go to the Personalize page. If you haven't set up your global personalization profile, you'll want to do that first. Your global profile is your main personalization that acts as your default personalization for a specific model. Mine is already set up for the V7 model. You might see something here that asks you to complete rankings to unlock your profile. Click it to start the ranking task. And just a quick word of warning, the process for setting up a personalization profile is changing soon, so be sure to check my channel for the latest. First, you'll be shown a pair of images. Your job is to pick the image that you like best. Don't overthink it, just pick the one that you like better. If neither image stands out to you, try to pick whichever one appeals to you more. However, if you strongly dislike both images, you can click Skip. You'll need to rank several pairs of images so that Midjourney learns enough about your preferences to create a profile. I believe for global profiles, the minimum is 40 ranked pairs. You'll see a progress bar at the top of the page that will let you know when you have enough. You can always rank more than that and even come back later to rank more image pairs to further refine your profile. Once your profile is complete, there are a couple of ways to add the profile to your prompt. First, you can click this Use Profile and Prompt button. Similar to Moodboards, this will first add the profile parameter to the prompt bar, followed by a really long code which will get converted to a shorter alphanumeric code when you run the prompt. So let's go to the Create page and see that. Over here is the name of the profile that I used, and when I hover, you see that short alphanumeric code, which you can click to add it to the prompt bar and use it in future prompts. Another way to add personalization to your prompt is to toggle it on and off by clicking this button. When it's red, personalization will be added to every prompt. By default, it will use your global personalization profile, or you can click one or more different profiles instead, including your mood boards. After you set up your personalization profile, I recommend submitting a set of diverse prompts like a person, a landscape, an animal, just to get a feel for what your profile looks like. My global profile with the V7 model often adds mood, atmosphere, and a teal hue. I can include it in any type of prompt, whether it's to create an illustration or photographic images, and the results will have an added layer of my personal style preferences. To decrease or increase the effect, you can add the stylized parameter to your prompt. Here's an example of the same prompt used with my global profile, but at different strengths. If for some reason you don't like your global personalization profile, you have a couple of options. One is to go back and rank more image pairs so that Midjourney has more information to work with. Or two, you can start a completely new profile by clicking New Profile here. So in my opinion, personalization is best used when you want more of a world aesthetic rather than a very specific style or cohesive theme. It gives images a personalized vibe that is determined based on the image selections you make. You can create photographic images, illustrations, 3D designs, and they will all have your aesthetic preferences layered on top. I almost always prefer images that I've created with my personalization profiles, and I use my profiles a lot in my everyday prompting. As I mentioned earlier, the process for setting up personalization will be changing soon, so check my channel in the pinned comment below for the latest. Now let's talk about combining these approaches because you're not limited to just using one at a time. With style references, you can add multiple SREF codes in the same prompt by separating each code with a space. You can also use multiple images as style references, and like SREF codes, they'll get blended to create a new unified style. And you can even mix SREF codes and images together in the same prompt. When you use multiple SREF codes, you can also add relative weights to control how much influence each code has. Just add 2 colons and a number after each SREF code to set that code's relative weight. So if you're blending 2 SREF codes and you want the first one to have twice as much influence as the second one, your prompt would look something like this. Unfortunately, we can't add weights for SREF images on the website, but if you're prompting on Discord, you can do it there. With personalization and mood boards, you can use multiple profiles together. Just separate each profile code with a space after the profile parameter --p. This lets you blend multiple personalization profiles, multiple mood boards, or both. If you want to explore even more, you can even combine all three, a style reference, a mood board, and personalization all in the same prompt. Or try combining a style reference plus your personalization to get a specific style with your personal style aesthetic layered on top. Just be aware that there are some combinations that come with limitations. For example, when you use a style reference with a mood board, you cannot adjust the style weight parameter. You can, however, still use stylize to control the strength of the mood board. It's just one of those things that isn't supported at the moment, but that might change in future models. So to quickly recap, use a style reference when you need strict, consistent style matching across your results. Use a mood board when you want a cohesive theme with variety and flexibility. Use personalization when you want your personal aesthetic applied to everything you create. And remember, you can combine and blend these approaches and adjust these strengths and weights to create even more customized results. For deeper dives on each of these features, check out my other videos linked in the pinned comment below. And to keep up to date with all of Midjourney's parameters, be sure to grab my free parameters guide. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and maybe even joining my Patreon community. Every month, I release detailed prompt guides, exclusive tutorials, and demos of new features. This month's guide focuses on changing camera angles with Omni references and creating characters with unique eyes. My community will also be the first to hear when my Midjourney course is released. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.